My name is Michael Mastro. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to look at the chart for Richard Chamberlain. May he rest in peace, star of the Thornbirds and many, many other movies. If you look to the eastern horizon when he was born, you would see the constellation associated with Virgo rising at 20 degrees. So first we're going to look and see how the planets are operating, and then we'll look to see when they're operating at certain times for events in his life. And then we'll look and see what could have been done to strengthen or improve the chart. So first we look at Sun. Sun, any multicarnal sign in the sixth, eighth, or the 12th house is said to be a functional malefic planet, and they have trouble promoting their own significations, and they can cause some challenges. Now, Sun, you see the fifth sign, number five, in the 12th house. The fifth sign is Leo, and Leo is ruled by Sun. So Sun can cause some challenges. Uh, it is also close to the most effective point, so it can affect health. It can affect heart issues. He did die of a stroke, and gives him the ability to separate from who he is to take on different roles in all the movies that he played. Um, because it is challenging, he did have issues with his father, Sun indicator for father. His father was an alcoholic, and he did have huge spiritual growth in his life. Now let's look at Moon. Moon is less than 5 degrees. It's actually at 0 degrees. So any planet that's less than 5 degrees or more than 25 degrees is said to be in infant state or old age, and it has trouble promoting its own significations. So Moon is ruling the house of income and fulfillment of desires. And because it's weak, it also is an indicator for heart. So again, he died of a stroke and autoimmune issues. Then we look at challenging Mars. Mars is also, you see the number one in the eighth house. That means that uh, Mars can also be challenging in his chart. A challenging Mars can give inflammation. Um, Now, the eighth house has to do with secrets. He was a very, very private person. He was gay and he didn't come out too much later in his life. Um, then we have weak placement Mercury. Mercury is in the sixth house. Any planets in the sixth, eighth, or 12th are said to be weak also. So Mercury's at 19 degrees and it is ruling the chart. So, ruling the first house, you see the sixth sign of Virgo ruled by Mercury. So, Mercury is the prime indicator for health that can give issues with skin and nervous system. Um, and it also has to do with his life purpose. Now, weak Mercury can affect communication. He was dyslexic early in his life. Um, then we have weak old Jupiter. Jupiter, any planet more than 25 degrees is said to be in old age. Jupiter's in the first house in old age, and it is ruling the fourth house. So this house connects him to relationships in his life, family. Then we have weak placement infant Venus. Venus is less than 2 degrees, and uh, it is ruling the second house. So it has to do with wealth and fame in his life. And also, it can create dyslexia because second house has to do with your voice. Then we have challenging Saturn. Saturn is ruling the health house and it is placed in its own sign, but it can be challenging from time to time. Then we have Rahu and Ketu. They are not close to the most effective point, so they're not causing any issues in the birth chart, so to speak. So let's look at the timing of events. So he was in the army in Korea in 1956 to I think 58 or 59. That's during a Jupiter period. Jupiter means that has to do with your house. And so he relocated to Korea for the army during that time. In 1961, he made the movie or the TV series. He is actually said to be the king of miniseries. He was in the Dr. Kildare series during a Mercury period, Mercury boosting his name and fame. In 1980, he was in Shogun, and he actually moved to Hawaii during that period. That's also a Jupiter period. In 83, he had like a spiritual awakening. And also, that's the year that he did Thornbirds and got a Golden Globe for that during a Sun period. Sun is ruling the 12th house of spiritual growth. And then 87, he met his partner, Martin, and that's during a Jupiter period. Jupiter kind of starting a family there, ruling the fourth house. In 2003, he did a memoir, and he came out and explained, his choice of gender in a Jupiter period, expressing what made him happy. In 2010, he separated from Martin. That's during a Mars period, causing big changes in his life, transformation. And then March 29th, 2025, he had a stroke. And if you see the circular chart on the left, you see the outer circles where the planets were when he died, the inner circles where the planets were when he was born. And you can see that Rahu is afflicting Saturn, Saturn indicator for longevity. And it's also afflicting Mercury there. Mercury is first house, also indicator for longevity. Um, So those are the main things. And what can we look at to strengthen the chart? So he already was involved in different charities. And so those were transforming Rahu, Ketu, Mars, Saturn, and Sun. The rest of the planets could have been strengthened with my favorite remedy, a kavash, which is a silver locket containing the Devata yantras and mantras for his benefic planets. If you'd like to get a kavash, get a reading, or learn Vedic astrology, you can go to vastucreations.com. Thank you so much for listening. Condolences to his family.